Hello, hello. This is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or whether we agree with each other or not. I want to thank everybody who corrected me on the first black football coach at Notre Dame. I was going by what the article said that Marcus Freeman was the first black and Asian football coach at Notre Dame. And then I think I veered off and said he was the first black football coach. And y'all corrected me. You corrected me and said that there was a black football coach in 2000 to 2004, was it? Named Tyrone Willingham or something like that. And that he was the first black football coach, but that he didn't last for the reason that many black football coaches don't work out, especially at these big colleges, because people who don't know anything about football want to run the football program. They really don't want a black head coach on those teams. They don't mind the offensive lineman coach or the defensive lineman coach. They don't mind a black person being in the third or fourth or fifth position because everybody knows that nobody knows more about football than black men. These black football players start playing football when some of them start when they're in Little League, Pee Wee team. Then they go on up to middle school, high school, college, and then professional football. They go through the ranks and they don't get pampered all the way, especially the ones who truly make it. They don't get pampered. So they know the game. They know what it takes to win a football game. Black men know that. I'm going to give them that much credit. I'm going to say that they know more about football than anybody because they have to suck up so much garbage as they are learning the game. They have to build character as they are learning the game because if they don't, they won't make it. And they have that football in their hearts and they want to make it. So they put up with it. They put up with it. So nobody's going to tell me that there's anybody in the United States of America that knows more about football, about building a football team, about coaching football than black men. So I'm still asking the question, why hasn't Notre Dame had 3 or 4 or 5 black head football coaches? Given what they've put into the team, Notre Dame has graduated a lot of black football players who went on to the professional teams. So this should not be the first or the second time they've had a black football coach. Now, in the state of Alabama, my home state, they are still holding on to the idea we are just not going to hire a black head coach at Alabama. Now, they've had to break down and hire black quarterbacks. They used to not want to hire black quarterbacks. Oh, you can't be black guys can't be a quarterback because you have to be able to think. And now black quarterbacks are running the show in college and in the professional sport. So black men are not being given a fair shake when it comes to these coaching jobs, whether it's college or professional coaching. And I hope that when they are given the opportunity to coach or to do whatever they're doing, that they will keep their integrity about them and not be so desperate for the job and so fearful of losing the job that they will compromise their own standards and won't give credit to where credit is due. And also to be able to acknowledge the history of America without sounding bitter or coming across as a victim, but to view it as progression in America. So I stand corrected in saying that Marcus Freeman was the first black head coach, football coach at Notre Dame. There was one before him, one. I'm still challenging that one who apparently was not able to do his job based on y'all's comments because of interference from the alumni who didn't know anything about coaching football. And that's the name of the game with black people. Somebody else wants you to do the job, but they want to get the credit and they want to control you in the process. And I want to stress this fact to anybody who needs to know this. I cannot be shamed when it comes to standing up for the integrity of Black Americans. And what I mean by that is when I say that if you have benefited from the struggle of Black Americans, you should be able to say that. You are an educated person. You know that you didn't get there on your own. You got there because somebody else sacrificed. So it's not really about you, it's about how you got there. So all of y'all who are so evolved that you don't want to say anything about black people's sacrifice, you can miss me with that bullshit because I am going to say something about it. Black people had to turn this country around. And I was alive when a lot of this was going on in the 60s and the 70s. So I'm going to speak my truth about this. You didn't just come in and all of a sudden was able to get opportunities that nobody in your race had ever had before, and then you get the opportunities and then you don't want to say anything about it because now you think it's about your talent. You're not the only person that has talent to coach football. You got that position because somebody sacrificed for you to have it. Laws had to be passed to open up this society. People died for this society to be opened up. And people can also miss me with this whole thing about, yeah, and Dr. Martin Luther King said that he was integrating his people into a burning building. Well, he may have been, but that building had been holding everybody back for centuries. So you had to make that step, and then there's nothing wrong with black people self-correcting. And if you're one of these black people who thinks that Dr. Martin Luther King made a mistake, Dr. Martin Luther King has been dead since 1968, April of 1968. That position has been opened since then. So if you think you have a better idea, then you get on out there and get something done. Get some legislation passed. Get some reparations for us since Dr. King was wrong and you know he was wrong and you have the right answer, then you get your ass out there and do something. That's what I say. I appreciate anybody who did something to try to make a difference in America because our people were suffering. We were suffering and still suffer on some level. But it was worse in 1945 when people were just lynching you just because you passed them in a car on the road. Yes, those things happened. Any little thing could cause you to lose your life. At least now there is some advocacy and some pushback. At least now you have a chance to get a quality education. So, anyway, I want to thank y'all for correcting me about the first black head coach at Notre Dame. And I still say that that young man should understand how he got where he is. And I will never stop saying that. But anyway, y'all, thank you for listening. Thank you for correcting me. Keep on listening. Keep on supporting me because it is my mission to encourage black Americans and make sure we understand the contributions that we've made to this country and that nobody is doing us a favor by giving us a job. Okay, thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Give me a thumbs up. Have a good evening.